Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Nation News, and we have Johnny's final rose. That's right, Johnny DiFilippo made one. As everyone does when their tenure is over, whether it's on a Bachelor season or Paradise. There's if someone had a strong edit or a pivotal role on the show, they'll make an Instagram statement with their final thoughts. I love this. I love when people do this. We've got Johnny's final roast, but he ends with a ciao. Can you see that right there? He ends it with a ciao, which is an Italian word for peace out, players, which is his way of saying good luck to Victoria, my ex-fiance. All right. Could I be projecting and reading into it? Maybe. That's what we do best. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals, patreon.com/Dave Neal for private bonus content. You want to give me a Christmas gift? Right there, baby. Join the Patreon. We'll be live at 10:30 a.m. this morning. And don't forget, we're doing 12 days of giving. 12 single moms out there are all getting a special, hold on, I got the wrong thing up here, are all getting a special gift from our audience, which is the Amazon wish list. If anyone wants to donate to single moms out there within our community, every single day we have a different one. And now we have a mother of an 18 and 17-year-old daughters and 10-year-old son. She said the Dave Neal community is amazing, and I've been able to, in the past, to help out with his dog crisis and Toys for Tots. So if you want to read that statement and help out somebody, you buy a gift, it goes directly to their wish list. You don't have to know their address. It goes right to them. And if you want to do that, we appreciate it. Link in the comment section below. All right, let's get into the story. Johnny, of course, was at the People's Choice Awards, ready to go with a beautiful, what'd you call it, turquoise, sort of wetsuit-fitting sports jacket there with a Steve Jobs-style undershirt. So it's been a few days, about a week or so, since the event, and now he's got his statement up. So let's read what he has to say. He says, "The journey. It's all about the journey, or so they say. Although things may have not ended exactly how I wanted them to, everything happens for a reason, and I couldn't be more happy with it. We did the damn thing. I've been pretty quiet about it all, and honestly, that's just the way it's gonna be. In a world full of noise, I'd rather keep some peace of mind." With that being said, I appreciate you all for the continuous support, and I'm excited to share this next chapter of life with you. Don't forget who runs Geometry Beach. I'm out. But before that, photo dumping on y'all. Ciao. As a comic, we have the thing called the efficiency of words or economy of words. It's all about getting to the joke and the point as quick as possible. So by ending with a ciao, that's like the Sousa da-da-da-da, bow. You know what I mean? Like, that's a real staccato way to end this. He's got friend Eric Schwer saying, "Love you, bro. # Team Johnny." And Tyler says the realist for now. Ciao, Batch Nation. So clearly there's an inside joke happening here. Ciao, Batch Nation. I mean, boy, good time to be an Italian. Really got the Italian culture. I mean, I'm gonna eat a pizza just for this story here. I bring it back to carbs. You know what? Due to this story, I'm just gonna eat a boatload of spaghetti and call it a year. We'll worry about our diet next year. All right, so there he is. Let's go through his carousel of photos. Of course, we met Johnny when he and Gabby fell for each other, and he wasn't ready for her. It looks like we have a producer there with Johnny in some sort of nightclub happening here. Looks like there's no audio. And then Johnny in some sort of beautiful city. I don't know where it is. Town center off the top of my head. Could it be Bruges? It looks like it could be Bruges' main square. I'm not really sure. And then we have Johnny there hanging out with Tyler. What appears to be Logan, which, by the way, happy belated birthday to Logan. I think his birthday was yesterday. And one Aaron Clancy all hanging out on the beach. And then there's Geometry Beach in the audience. Very nice. Very well done. Let's see if we recognize any of the audience members here. Oh, it looks like this is our friend. Is it Whitney? Is that our friend there? The PhD student who's... and then we have Mari and Kenny. So, and then Gabby and Rachel. Wow, they snuck them in the corner. So, very interesting that Gabby got snuck in the corner there. Gabby single, Johnny single. So, there Johnny is at the Bachelor in Paradise reunion, sharing his, thoughts on the situation, as it were. Of course, didn't exactly go well. He didn't know that Greg Grippo would be there. Tyler speaks with him in the parking lot afterwards. A lot of emotions ran high, of course. Well, that's a close on the books for Johnny. We got a lot more to talk about in this video. Our friend Justin Takes the Batch, I saw this past week at Dr. Lovegrove's party, posted the hard launch of Spencer from Tayshia's season. He got Tayshia's first impression rose, and Sam from Clayton's season. As we know, Sam didn't even make it to the end of night one. She was like, "Clayton, it's not going to happen. Two gingers, gingers like to spread out. You can't have two gingers together. What do you create, a leprechaun? Come on. Redheads. It's all fun. We love redheads. But do you create a leprechaun? I don't know. So there they are doing their slow dance. Am I in the background of this? Is that me? Where am I? You could tell by the bad dancer. That would be me. Let's see if we can find me. This is Romeo right there. By the way, Romeo's going to make a brief cameo in my vlog today. If you go check that out. Anyway, I couldn't see myself. Probably a good thing, you know what I mean? Save room for the Lord. You got to dance far apart. All right, purity culture. So anyway, Claire, we got hard launches, and then we got Claire. She's coming at it, just ready to go, full snow bunny mode with her CEO fiance. Doing a nice little dip there. They're practicing their wedding dance. Let me tell you, sir, you got to be careful. You don't want to drop the lady. Trust me. By the way, so I made this Instagram reel yesterday. I'm going to try to get into the Instagram reel game more because I don't feel like it'll be good for me to just cut and copy what I do in this long form videos, rather just give a brand new minute take. So here was yesterday. For Bachelor star Becca Tilley yesterday on the front lawn of the White House. She was there to witness the signing of the Respect for Marriage Act by President Joe Biden. So I covered this story, which basically exposed a lot of the grifting that has happened in the Republican Party because, you know, 70% of our country approves in gay marriage, and the Respect for Marriage Act is all about just solidifying the fact that gay and also interracial marriage is protected federally. Important to be protected in case some states decide to rescind whatever, you know. So that was a good thing. But even though 70% of our country support this, and I'm sure more people do, but it's an exponential growth in supporting this, we also have a problem. And when it comes to Respect for Marriage Act, look, I'm talking to an audience of people that watch The Bachelor, where people, you know, fall in love, bump their Harrisons. Yeah, that's right. I said bump the Harrisons. Someone's like, can you stop saying bump the Harrisons 4 times now? Bump the Harrisons. So, you know what I mean? Pump the Palmer if you do. Hit the like button. Do something. But you've got this audience we have all about marriage, and it's all about like finding love and proper communication and respecting others and building empathy for our fellow neighbors, those that we know and those that we don't know, those that look like us, those that don't look like us, older, younger, sex, religion, race, all those things. It's all about just kind of understanding we all have the same DNA, we all bleed the same blood, relatively speaking, and yet still there was something like 169 Republicans that didn't sign off on this bill. And you looked at why, and we talked about it, right? Very briefly, we talked about the fact that, there was a lot of right-wing and evangelical leaders writing in. So not exactly the constituents, but the powerful leaders that have money for donations and campaign funds and influence convinced them not to sign this bill because they thought that it wasn't going to protect traditional marriage. Traditional marriage is not a threat. It's already protected. Giving someone else rights doesn't take them away from you or I, right? So anyway, I make this and I just get nonstop every negative review on the podcast. And again, this doesn't bother me. I'm just using this as a little motivation here. Every negative review on the podcast, we've got 377 ratings. Every single one is politically rated or motivated. It would be kind of nice if someone was like, you know what, I just don't like his hairline. Bad audio, 1 star. No, but it's always someone who's not comfortable hearing a point of view that's attached to something to do with the show. So we talk about the show, but we also talk about real life issues. That's why that's why the channel is successful. Now, could it be more successful if I kind of towed the line and went straight down the center? Maybe, but I have no problem accepting and listening to other people's points of views. Speaking of constituents, voters, that's fine. It's the political leaders that are dipping into your pockets, stealing your money that I have a problem with. And don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean I'm blindly supporting of left versus right. Not at all. The amount of corporate greed exists on both sides. The amount of insider dealing and Pelosi's stock trading and all that, it's a problem. It's a class issue. So anyway, I got this beautiful 1-star review. I'd give a 5-star, but I'm sick of the digs at conservatives. You sound like the rest of the brainwashed podcasters. Peace. So is it that all podcasters are brainwashed? Or, I'm sorry, are you the one who's blindly supporting people that are robbing you blind? And it's come out, and look, if NPR is not the most centrist, trusted reporting, I don't know what is, that Donald Trump's campaign took $250 million in donations from supporters that said it was going to go to election defense fund. And of course, we find out that's not where it went at all. He's robbing you blind, and people are realizing it. New polls came out yesterday that DeSantis, who really isn't institutionally too different than Trump, he's kicking Trump's ass in the new polls, which is very shocking. But, you should be really upset if you are actually a conservative and want small business and small regulations and this and that. That means less controlling of others, more free, those types of things. But it's become some sort of weird ideological issue. So we have Walker, who lost. This is like the $1 billion Yankees losing to like a little league team because he's or was in a red state, Georgia. They were going to vote Republican. He couldn't have messed this up. But Herschel Walker's, and of course he did lose, right, in the runoff by a lot, to be honest. Walker's campaign tells Republicans to stop deceptive fundraising in Georgia runoff. So all of this money that was stolen, with the election fraud was restolen. They stole multiple times from the same people that are blindly donating. 4 committees, one of them associated with former President Trump, kept 90% of contributions soliciting for Senate GOP candidate Herschel Walker. So not only did he lose, but if Trump didn't steal the money that he stole, saying, oh, we're going to, can't raise campaign funds, he kept it for his 2024 presidential campaign, which he's going to need it because he's down by a lot. And that's just in the primary. That's not from a conservative. That's in the primary. That's the infighting that's happening in the Republican Party is shocking to watch. It's kind of like rubbernecking when you drive by a crash. You're like, yikes, who's at fault? Look at the coefficient of friction, skid marks everywhere. So anyway, when people want to come at me for just progressive crap, listen, I'm not for the left. I'm not for the right. I'm for the fucking people, okay? I'm for the people that spend their money and work hard to earn their money. We could have a higher minimum wage, that are getting robbed blind. I'll tell you this. I have plenty of family that has different political leanings than I do. If I found out that they were donating to campaigns that were robbing them, I would literally have to move back home and deprogram them and take off all the toxicity on their phones and all the different garbage that they're receiving. It's nasty out there. So I really hope that's not our audience. I think we pushed them away, to be honest. I don't think these 1-star review people are the types that are, sticking around for long, but you got to crack an egg to make an omelet. You got to talk about these things. So if anyone's wondering that blindly on this side, oh, he said this, oh, he talked about that, oh, people are so quick to hear what side you're on so that they can run away and scurry into the darkness and whatever. No, we don't need to be like that. We need to be for the American people, for all of us, and we need to collectively, I've been kind of quiet. I think it's time we start shining a light on the dark areas and kind of go like, okay, we're done being part of the cult. Let's take money out of politics across the board. Let's start voting for people who support the Respect for Marriage Act. Let's start voting for candidates that actually are fighting for you. Has Marjorie Taylor Greene passed one bill? She's just some weird puppet on Twitter who's creating fear and stoking all this. No, it's garbage, folks. I'm not going to have it. If you want to stick around and hear an honest person's thoughts who's not, wooed or governed by certain donors, hang out here. What do I have to lose? I'm just talking. All right, we'll talk to you in a little bit. Bye, guys.